This is Jason Frakes with the Courier-Journal Sports Department with a look at Week 7 of the Kentucky high school football season. We're going to get right to our game of the week, kind of the game of the year in Louisville every year. The Catholic School grudge match between St. Xavier and Trinity, 8 p.m. Friday night at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. St. X comes in with a 4-2 record. Trinity 5-0. They've won 30 in a row. St. X coming off a nice win last week over Central. They won that one 27-13. Another big night for Charles Walker, the junior running back. He's now up to 823 yards and 12 touchdowns for the year. Quarterback Austin Gayhafer having a nice season. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, more than 400 yards. And Coach Mike Glazer said this week that they've really sort of developed a deep passing threat there with William Ruszowski. He doesn't have a whole lot of stats or anything, but Glazer's hoping in the threat of having him out there might open up the running game a little bit against Trinity. Trinity, as we said, ran that winning streak to 30 last week with a nationally televised victory up at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, beating Indianapolis Cathedral 24-16. The same guys you expect, James Quick, Dalen Dawkins had big games. A huge night for Jason Hatcher, who the stats said only had 3 sacks. It seemed like he had a lot more than that, at least 4 or 5. But Jason Hatcher, who's headed to Southern California, kind of showed why in that game on a big stage. Travis Wright still putting up big numbers at quarterback. He's completing 65% of his passes, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns for Travis Wright. St. X, this is the 74th meeting between these schools. St. X holds a very slim margin now. It's 36, 35, and 2 for St. X. But you know, as everybody knows, Trinity's dominated the last 2 years. They've played twice each of the last 2 years. Trinity's won all 4 of those games by a combined score of, get this, 116-19. So Trinity has dominated those 4 games. I keep getting asked, do you expect the same? I really don't. I think this is a better St. X team. This is still a great Trinity team, but it's not the dominating Trinity team of last year. You've seen them. Yes, they're 5-0. Yes, they're playing a tough schedule. Yes, they're beating good teams, but not that efficient Trinity offense and defense that we saw last year. I think St. X is going to, you know, with this being Mike Glazer's last go around against Trinity, at least in the regular season as coach, I think St. X will ride some of that emotion. I think they'll make a game of it, but I still think Trinity, too many weapons, too much for St. X to overcome, and I'm going to take the Shamrocks, by a score of 24-10. We're going to look at 3 other games Friday night. Actually, a lot of schools are off this Friday night, so not a very deep schedule here, but we got Manual at 2-3 at Butler 4-1. Manual's actually won 8 in a row in this series, including 40-35 last year. Manual coming off a 31-6 win over Seneca last week. Their big running back over there, Dyson Roman, did not play in that game because of a turf toe injury, but Coach Oliver Lucas expects him to be back for Friday night against Butler, and they're going to need him. Butler won 4 in a row since their opening loss to Mayo in the first week of the season. Beat Fairdale 57-7 last week. J.D. Morgan, Michael Clark had big games for the Bears. And I look for Butler to end that losing streak to Manual this time around. I think they're playing better. I think if you look at them, if you watch them both, Butler's just the better team. I'm going to take Butler by a score of 28-14. Then 2 matchups outside of Jefferson County, a couple of rivalry meetings. Bullitt Central 4-2 at North Bullitt 3-2. North Bullitt's won the last 2 in this series, but Bullitt Central really enters as the hot team. They've won 4 in a row. Running back Trevor Carnell having a big season for the Cougars. He's rushed for 1,200 yards and 19 touchdowns. And North Bullitt just enters after an embarrassing loss really last week to Nelson County, 76-36. The Nelson County quarterback over there, Dylan Beasley, tied a state record with 9 touchdown passes in that game. So North Bullitt's really going to have to get its defense together, and I just think Bullitt Central's playing better, and that's why I'm going to take Bullitt Central by a score of 27-21. And then finally over in Shelby County, the matchup of the two schools over there, it's Shelby County 4-2 at Collins 3-2. Since Collins opened in 2010, they've dominated both meetings with Shelby County. They won 49-7 2 years ago. 39-0 last year, but Shelby County's back on track. They'd only won 3 games in those 2 years, but they've won 4 now. They beat Oldham County 33-16 last week. Collins coming off a 38-35 win over Spencer County. 2 pretty good quarterbacks in this game. At Shelby County, Zach Shipley, the son of Coach Todd Shipley, and then over at Collins, one of the better juniors in the state, their quarterback, Lawson Page. So this one's not going to be 49-7, 39-0 like the last 2 years. This is a competitive game again, and but I still expect Collins in a close one. I'm going to take the Titans 24-21. Make sure you check out Courier-Journal.com for previews of all these games and results Friday night and Saturday morning. You can also follow me during a live chat of the St. X Trinity game Friday night, and on Twitter at KY Haas. We'll be using that hashtag again, LOUFB.